Tonight we are sharing reactions from advocates and state lawmakers against the plans for a prison in Franklin County. We first told you last night emails obtained by the Arkansas Democrat show the project is, quote, canceled. The governor's office, though, says differently. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer joining us now with what we know about this tonight. Lauren?
Yeah, Darren, through the Freedom of Information Act, we've also requested those internal emails from the Department of Corrections, but have not received them. I spoke with people who have fought this project for nearly 2 years, who both say even with the word canceled in writing, things aren't clear just yet. Adam Watson has seen lots of wins in the fight against the proposed 3,000-bed prison in Franklin County.
Seeing the headline, I was very excited.
But wins for him, he always takes with caution.
Until something official actually happens with either this project or the land getting out of the state's hands, I don't know that anybody out here trusts that this is a done deal.
An April email from a Department of Corrections official describes the Franklin County project as canceled. Another internal plan reportedly outlines possible expansions at existing facilities, but does not include a new prison in Franklin County.
The emails give me hope that, at least in state agencies, people are understanding the writing on the wall, right? This project really can't go forward for the litany of reasons that we've discussed over the last 2 years. And if they're seeing it, it should just be a matter of time before the governor sees it and the rest of the government sees it.
The governor's office, however, is disputing these claims, saying an exchange of ideas among staff does not set state policy and that none of these options have been approved by the governor or the legislature.
They're just trying to kick this off until after the election and trying to come up with some other plan and keep from dealing with it.
State Senator Brian King has opposed the project from day one and has pushed for other ways to add capacity.
We got to get back to sound, financial, responsible decisions and staying within what we can afford and what we can actually pay for.
And both Watson and King agree.
As soon as that land isn't owned by the state, I will sleep a lot better at night.
In April, the DOC said the project was on hold and there was no new work being done at the site for several months outside of routine maintenance and upkeep. State lawmakers approved the department's fiscal year funding in March, but it includes language that prohibits using funds in the next year to build the Franklin County prison.
All right, Lauren, bottom line, where does all of this stand right now?
Yeah, Darren, the governor's office is clear it has not canceled the project and says Governor Sanders still believes Franklin County is the best option for expanding prison capacity. The internal correspondence shows state officials have at least been discussing other options, including expanding other facilities. Darren.
Wow. All right, Lauren, thanks. Appreciate that tonight. We first brought you breaking news last night that 2 people were shot and killed in Rogers neighborhood. Police did not speak with us today, but released a few new details. The 2 victims were teenage boys. Police say they're both 16. They say it happened on the corner of Southern Trace Drive. A disturbance led to gunfire. We knew a suspect was being interviewed last night. We have now learned a 22-year-old was taken into custody but has since been released. Police are talking with the prosecutor's office about charges. They say the incident is not connected to the 2 recent teen shootings in Springdale. Opening arguments could begin in what could be Meta's most consequential legal fight yet over youth safety and addiction. The case was brought 3 years ago by a group of 29 state attorneys general. As Colin Jeffrey reports, the group alleges Meta intentionally designed its platforms to get young people addicted and boost their business.
Opening statements began Tuesday in a trial that could reshape how social media platforms interact with children. 29 states filed suit 3 years ago, alleging that Meta designed its platforms to get young people addicted, harming the mental health of children as it boosted its profits. California, Colorado, Kentucky, and New Jersey are representing the bipartisan coalition in federal court, and those states are collectively seeking as much as $1.4 trillion in damages.
What sets this case apart is that this is actually these states asking a federal judge to reach into the company and make changes, not just hit them with fines, but make fundamental changes.
The states claim that Meta designed features such as recommendation algorithms, infinitely scrolling feeds, likes, and notifications to be intentionally addictive, according to the complaint.
They knew their product was dangerous, and they lied to the public. They lied to Congress. They told the public, they told the world that their product was safe, that it wasn't dangerous.
We can't say definitively that something will change, but I think what has changed is the whole world now knows what's really going on in Meta.
Meta denies the allegations, and a spokesperson says the AGs offer no proof anyone was misled and are attempting to penalize Meta for industry-wide challenges like age verification. The trial is scheduled to last at least 6 weeks, with testimony expected from top Meta executives, including founder Mark Zuckerberg. I'm Colin Jeffrey reporting.
Arkansas is not one of the 29 states in this lawsuit, but State Attorney General Tim Griffin filed a separate case in Arkansas alleging similar claims. Now, the case has made it all the way to the state Supreme Court. They will hear oral arguments next week. Meanwhile, it was a primary election night for 5 U.S. states. On the left of your screen, voters in Florida deciding who will move in multiple congressional races and in the governor's race. On the right side, voters in Alaska weighing in on a key senator race. Experts say they believe this race will decide which party will hold control after the midterm elections. We're just a week away from the primary runoff in Oklahoma. Here are some key races and proposals that we'll be watching. The biggest one is no doubt who moves on in the race for governor. Attorney General Gentner Drummond and Mike Mazzei are also going up for the Republican nomination. Whoever wins faces Democrat Cindy Munson. Meanwhile, we'll also be paying close attention to a bond question in Sequoyah County. Sallisaw Public Schools asking for approval on a $23 million bond package. All Oklahoma voters will also weigh in on adding voter ID requirements to the state constitution. Election is next Tuesday. You have already missed the deadline if you have not registered to vote.